of them want to sell products, and as long as you can sort of portray yourself as a professional person and represent yourself in that manner, there's really no downside for them, no risk involved for them to do business with you. And we have all sorts of tips and email templates and things like that, just to make sure that you come off as a professional person when you reach out to them. And of course, we always have our secret weapon, Dave, who can step in if you're having a problem getting quote unquote approved by these suppliers, who has a lot of experience internationally with working with suppliers. Second scenario is you're outside the U.S. and you want to work with a vendor who's outside the U.S. because you want to market, say, in your home country. Well, again, two things there. One, we are expanding our database specifically for UK, Australia, and Singapore. Those are the three markets that we are aggressively going after to expand our database, make it even bigger. And so you'll have an opportunity to have products at least from those three areas of the world. And then the second thing is that we always have the help from the training materials, which show you how to find suppliers, even if there aren't any in the database. And because, as I said, you're always going to come across that. And no matter how many suppliers we have, someone's always going to think of a new market, and I certainly hope they do, where we don't have a supplier. So you have to have the process and the tricks to be able to find a supplier outside of a database. And then again, we always have Dave, who, and just to beat this dead horse, is available to help find suppliers and is an expert in this field. Other costs. It's been a major goal since we started thinking about Niche Blueprint to try desperately to make sure this was a one-time payment and you guys weren't surprised with any other costs. We think we've gotten as close as anybody could. You won't find any upsells after you buy Niche Blueprint. There's no one-time offers. There's no monthly subscription offer fees, anything like that, right? So when you do a new e-commerce site, the only cost that you're going to incur is to get a domain and an SSL certificate. Don't worry if you don't know what that is. But you're talking about a $50 fee or something like that. And these are and it's an asset you then own, right? You own that domain, and so we tried really, really, really hard to give you absolutely everything you need and not to surprise you. And then, of course, the big thing is that this whole course is designed around getting free traffic so that you don't have to pay for traffic with AdWords unless and until you want to later on as your store becomes profitable. So I think we've done an excellent job of making sure that you're not surprised with other costs. Support. People ask this all the time, and I've tried, I've addressed this in other videos, but I just want to say, we've got the industry's best support, I think. We work silly hours, frankly, to make sure that there will be 4 or 5 of us that will be the only ones answering support requests. And obviously, when the hotline for supplier issues, most of those are going to go to Dave. We'll try and help them out maybe, so we are there. We are there all the time. We've got a pretty sophisticated help desk and support system that we've invested in just for Niche Blueprint, brand new for our company. And we're very pleased with it. It's really easy to use. And the whole idea is just to make sure that you guys get all the hand-holding and all the support that you need. So do you have to negotiate with these suppliers? No, I wouldn't say that you have to negotiate with them. Again, I spoke earlier in this video about the fact that we're not in the middle. And we'll give you templates and ways to sort of frame yourself when you reach out and contact these suppliers so that you're professional and, you come off with the right, sort of appearance. So we'll help you with that. It's not something that you should be worried about. And then you always have the secret ace in the hole, and that is, if you have trouble, you call us, and we'll help you out. So how much time does this take? I mean, it depends on how many sites you start at once. But this is perfectly easy to do when you're already working full time, particularly if you just start out with, you know, 1 or 2 sites. You know, you're talking about maybe spending, you know, 3 or 4 hours a week in the beginning to do the things that you need to do to start to get your traffic. And then, you know, an order or 2 a day takes you no time to process. And by the time, you know, if you start to get more orders per day, you're probably not going to be complaining about the time that it takes. But it's something that is absolutely reasonable to think that you could spend, you know, work full time and try to do this. It's not a problem. And then, of course, you always have the opportunity, as I've spoken about in other videos, to outsource. I mean, if you get 3 or 4 profitable stores going, you know, for $600-700 a month, you can outsource, and we show you this in the course. You can outsource to someone who is more than capable of probably doing about 90-95% of the work, and you know, you can sit back and make money while you're doing other things. I've had some questions about whether or not a Mac is okay to have. I'm a Mac user. I'm a Mac guy. So, yes, without a doubt. In fact, I made Mike and Dave go out and buy Macs. So, it's perfectly okay if you're a Mac user, for sure. There's been a lot of talk and discussion about, you know, whether the domains are and these sites belong to you or us or what. And I just want to make really clear, these are your businesses. They're not hosted with us. We don't have like one big domain and then everybody's underneath that domain like some other products out there. It's your domain. It's your business. You own all the software, everything that's on the domain. And in that way, it's your asset. You get to decide what to do with it, and if you ever want to, you can sell it without having any worry about, you know, any kind of ongoing relationship with our company. It's completely up to you. So everybody wants to know, you know, how long before I can make money? Obviously, it's hard to answer that question, but it's not unreasonable, okay, to think that the first full month that your site is up and running,